Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Frozen Fortunes, and yeah, let's just jump into it. Before we get into anything else, I really do just want to thank Danila Rizamist and Alexander, who became patrons of mine over the past couple of days. Patreon is something I've never really actively promoted in videos, and I didn't really have any plans to do that upon coming back either. I thought maybe a few months down the line I might consider it if people were interested in that kind of thing, but I just wanted to say thank you to those of you who did actually find that in the description of the videos and signed up anyway. So I really, really do appreciate that. That is incredibly generous of you, and you really don't have to do that, and I would never expect that from any of you. I just enjoy making videos for you. So thank you, and let's move on. And as you can see, the form itself has actually been pretty damn remarkable, and I kind of wanted to just stop here with a cautionary point, in that we were still 1,000 to 1 at the start of this season to go up, and I think we are punching well above our weight already. And I would err on the side of caution as to the expectations of us actually managing to get promoted this year. I really, really would. I was looking through some of the players in our squad, and we only have one player that is even considered decent for the level we're currently playing at, and that is Rasmus Borup. The next best player, technically according to my scouts anyway, is Rasmus Bigler, and he's only considered a leading player for the division below, just to give you an idea of where we sit with our squad, which I guess might explain why when we sign a lot of these Irish and Icelandic players it says 5-star potential, because that really doesn't have to be that good for them to have 5-star potential in this team. So just manage the expectations about where we can go this year, because it might also be a bit of a curse rather than a blessing if we were to go up, because if we got ourselves promoted, we might be forced to turn semi-pro, and with that means I'd have to start paying players, which of course would mean we could keep hold of good ones, but it would also mean that my ability to spam the Irish and Icelandic leagues for players would be gone, because we'd have to pay every single one of them, and we wouldn't just be able to release them on a free transfer without paying them, I don't believe. Now, I'm more than happy to do that, of course, I don't really care, provided we're able to sign players from Denmark and can actually do proper scouting. Once we can do that, then it should be fine, and I don't mind being semi-professional, because then we can actually finally start signing some Danish players. I'm just hoping that happens around about the same time. Otherwise, we could find ourselves in a situation where we've got we're a semi-professional team, but we can't sign any players whatsoever, and we'd really have to then rely on our youth academy, which, you know. That being said, I did ask the board if we could improve our youth recruitment again, and they did, albeit slightly belatedly, said yes to that. So hopefully, that means we're now above average, which is good, although it might mean that we might even go further above that. I don't know how long it takes to switch over to the next one. But that means when our youth intake comes through in March, we might even get some slightly better players coming through, which might well be our saving grace to get out of this division in the end. I really hope not, and I hope that we've got enough players stockpiled that that won't be the case, but you never know with these things. The Irish youth intake was also a thing that has happened, so I have signed a couple of players up. Not that many, but there's a couple I'll show you guys in a sec, because I want to go through the fixtures first, because I'm babbling too much. First game we played was another home game, of course, so I was hoping that we'd get ourselves a win, because I was thinking Yamabuk would probably be one of the sides right on the bubble of getting into the promotion places, and since we got that draw away at the start of the season, hopefully it would be a good chance to get the win, and we did exactly that. It was a really tough game, and frankly 2-1 doesn't really do it justice. It could have been 3-4 all, but Soren Berger getting himself a brace, and Ronnie Iverson getting one back in the middle for them. But, you know, all in all, good home win, what we needed. We then travelled away to Kolding, that would be KB Kolding, the lesser of the two Koldings, and got a fairly comfortable, actually, probably our most comfortable away win for, well, since the Thisted game, really. Although, to be honest, this one could have been even more. Berger's goal, Diamos's goal, and Nigord with a goal, a really comfortable away performance. They were at the time anyway, 8th in the league, so I would have expected to win there. But then again, last season, we probably would have lost there, so I feel like there's definitely an improvement being ramped up. Next up, we were at home against Thisted, and this was a much, much harder game than the one we played away at them, and I don't know why. I guess it could have been one of those tactical things where the tactic we just used away against them was like kryptonite. It was like those Pokemon super effectiveness. But again, Søren Berger, once again the hero. You might notice Franson's really dropped off the map as opposed to scoring lately. He does come back and help, but it really was. I think he went 8 games without a goal, so he really did drop off, and Søren Berger has really picked up the slack, smashing in goal after goal over these games, and is really the only reason we got these points, I have to say. Thisted did mostly shoot from range in this game, but they really put the pressure on towards the end. We did have a goal disallowed. Søren Berger, in fact, had a goal disallowed, denying him his hat-trick, which would have been nice for him. But the point is we got the win, and I think that Thisted will qualify, and you'll see in a sec. So that will be 3 very important points to take with us to the next round. Then against Schellerup, yeah, I mean, they are a very, very good side, although they have picked up some interesting defeats as of late, including losing 3-0 to Middelfart, who are the worst side in this division, or they certainly were at the time. Not that we made exactly much of a better job of that ourselves, but this could have been maybe 3-2, or on another day it could have been 5-0. We created enough opportunities in this game for us to maybe score a goal or two, but they just outclassed us massively. For an amateur side, which is what they are definitely one of the best teams in this division, and I don't think we've beaten them yet in this entire save. Now then, the game against Middelfart. We were at home, and look at this. We went 3-0 down at home against them, and they were the bottom club. They'd only got 5 points on the board at this point. So the moment that they scored the third goal, I just threw it on overload and was determined to make something happen. And to be honest, well, as you can see, we scored 3 goals in what's that, 8 minutes? Alan Franson scored an 8-minute hat-trick. The first 2 goals were basically identical, and I'm pretty certain Mikkel Nygaard got either 2 or 3 assists. He certainly got the first 2 assists because it was the identical goal. And we really could have won it at the end. Franson had another chance, but he spurned it wide. So brilliant work from him, finally coming back into form, just coming out of nowhere and scoring himself 3 goals in the game, under heavy snow as well, a bit more Greenlandic, I have to say. And as good as that comeback was, I genuinely think that this one is actually better, because Kolding are probably going to be one of the stronger sides. Bear in mind, and now I underrated them at the start of the season, because I thought they'd just come up from the lower division. That was the other Kolding. These guys actually won their group in this stage last year with 30 points. So they are certainly no pushover and were in the promotion stages last year. And they look bloody decent, but we've done the double over them. Now, we took the lead through Mikkel Nygaard early on in this one, and yeah, okay, fine. They kind of battered us for the rest of the game. Sommer put them level, and then Klisner made it 2-1. And at that point, I thought, right, there's no chance. They were getting shot after shot. Not too many clear-cut opportunities, but decent number of half chances, which they were converting into 2 goals. But little did they know that Mikkel Nygaard had a couple of goals up his sleeve. We got 2 in 4 minutes, and the second one was from a corner. And when I say from a corner, I mean the ball was lumped into the box, and he volleyed it into the net. It's actually happened. And we picked up on an away win. Now, obviously, I put it on attacking after we went 2-1 down, but the fact that we turned it around away from home and picked up yet another, well, I say yet another away win. We've actually picked up a few. We've only lost once away from home all season. And we've only lost once at home in the league this year. So our home and away records are actually starting to get a bit more parity, which is kind of what I was hoping for, at least anyway, for now. Now, moving over into the league table itself, you can see that we're actually top. Now, Schellerup, as a result of losing away at Thisted, they also lost away at Kolding, and then they lost away at Middelfart. So they had a really poor run of fixtures, which has allowed us to get back into things. Because at one point, we were actually 4 points clear at the top at one point, but then suddenly they went a few points clear at the top as a result of our sort of little struggles against them themselves. But we'd already wrapped up the qualification spot with like 4 matches to go due to some really poor play from the other sides. But it's basically all to play for in terms of who wins the group. That's about it, really. Thisted and Kolding are the other 2 sides already confirmed. The other Kolding did, in fact, finish bottom in the end. Middelfart, picking up the form in the last couple of games, could, in fact, end up finishing 5th in the end. Probably the most dangerous side at this level looks like it's going to be Nyköping. 26 points on the board is less than us, but they have really been smashing teams. To be fair, Griva in this division have actually been hit for 7 on, I think, 2, maybe even 3 different occasions. Hillerød certainly put 7 past them, and so did Nyköping. So, yeah, not looking good for them. They've actually not won a game all season. But the most important thing about this is that, okay, we lost both games to Schellerup. That sucks. But we did beat home and away against Thisted and Kolding, which means we're going to go into the next round with 12 points. I don't know how many Schellerup are going to go in with, because I know they've lost to Thisted and Kolding away from home. They might end up going in with 12 points as well. This is going to get very interesting. You'll also notice that Alan Franson is the top assister in the league still, as a result of grabbing a few more. 9 assists is incredible. He also has 10 league goals, but I guess doesn't quite make the cut here. Bøje has 9 as well, I believe, so it's pretty close between those 2 for top scorer at the moment. Just taking a little look at the squad at this sort of midway period. Top scorer at the moment is, Alan Franson with 10 goals and 9 assists is fantastic. He's not only scoring, but he's creating. He's now rated 4 stars in this team too, which is still only good enough for the division below, bear in mind. But I'm really enjoying his work at the moment. And I think over the course of the second half of the season, he might struggle because it's going to be a harder quality of opposition. And I still really don't believe we're going to be strong enough to go up. 38 points is a lot to get, even if we did start with 12. Just wanted to quickly show you Kieran Devaney. He's probably the best player that we got through from the Irish players. What I did this time was slightly different. I went to the youth intake screen like I always used to, put them all into a shortlist, filtered it by players that were EU nationals, and that includes the African players because of the Cotonou Agreement, and then just literally looked at the contracts of them, removed all the ones that weren't that were on money, and then I just approached to sign the ones that were left. It's a much more streamlined way of doing what I was doing before, and it worked quite nicely because we've got Kieran Devaney. There's a few more as well, but I think he is probably the best. Great first touch. Passing's a little on the low side, but he's got good technique, good vision, good flair, a little bit low on the determination, and great natural fitness. He could do with putting on a bit of weight, I have to say, but I think it's good to have a player that's already sort of very, very comfortable in that advanced playmaker role in the midfield. So hopefully we'll see a bit more out of him in the coming seasons. Now, we've actually got a very good record against Aarhus. We've got a draw and 2 wins against them, which means it bodes well for us today, I have to say. We're going to go with Stephenson. Nygaard's actually picked up the form a bit lately. Stephenson's the one that's kind of losing his form. I might be tempted to put Look, you know what? Let's try this out. Since it's the last game of this half of the season, come on, Rasmus, in you go, lad. The last part of the season, and we're already qualified. Yeah, we could win it, but I don't know. I want to try some players out maybe in this game. Goodison, yeah. Borup, I might rest. I've noticed he's been making a lot of mistakes, more so than his counterpart Kramer on the other wing, like twice as many. So I do wonder why that is, and we might have to take a little look at that in maybe a deep dive later in the season, because I think that is an important aspect that needs to be discussed. So this is the team we're going to go with for today's game. We're going with Bigler, Nygaard, Franson, Einstein, Devaney, might as well try him out in today's game anyway, since he likes that role, and Benson. At the back, Adam O'Toole, who is probably our brightest wing-back prospect. Paul Casey, who is another Irish lad I brought in. Luke Campbell, you would have seen before. And, of course, Stefan Jon Gunnarsson at the right side. Alfred Gudjonsson, who's played a few games for us over this period because he's quite a decent sweeper keeper. On the bench, Misgaard, Borup, Dirmosa, Boya, Kramer, the usual bunch, basically. But I thought, why not try some of these players out, give them a chance in the team. Yeah, their match fitness isn't great, but it'd be nice to just see if they've got anything, see if they've got anything to offer us. So let's get into the game. The question of today's game, the question of the day rather, is what is your favourite player that your club has ever had? Now, for me, it's a really rather simple. Oh, Franson's already scored. Sorry, we've scored within 15 seconds. Mikkel Nygaard slips the ball through and Alan Franson just smashes it into the back of the net. That is incredible. That must be the quickest goal we've ever scored on this save. Bigler, lovely work down the side here, drops it back in field to Einstein. Lovely ball through. You might notice I've actually nicknamed him properly. Nygaard slips it around the corner and Franson pops it in the back of the net for his 11th league goal of the season. That is bloody excellent. So yeah, as I was saying, favourite player your club has ever had. Mine is Breda Hangeland because he was just a defensive rock for us. Probably one of the most responsible people for us actually staying up that season, and then a servant to the club for many, many years. And I don't like the way that they dealt with the situation after we were relegated and the way that he was basically forced out of the club. It was a terrible shame, and I blame Felix Magath entirely for that. Anyway, who is the best player that you think, or your favourite player that your club has ever had? And if you do have any ideas for a question of the day, drop those in the comments too with the hashtag QODD. Sorry, just trying to get that out of the way quickly so we can concentrate on the game. We are winning here. Franson. This is the team with that MP player, isn't it? Maybe he's a member of parliament. Just a thought. Benson, watch out. Last thing we need. Oh, here we go. Adam O'Toole. It's Franson. He's got a man through the middle. That man is Nygaard. Can he get in? He can. Oh, what a save that is from Henningsen. See, this is what I mean about this system. We're creating chances on the break like we should be. That was an excellent play. Franson with the corner now. Whipped it into nobody, really. Nielsen might be able to clear this up the pitch. We've got two very inexperienced centre-backs in Casey and Campbell, so we do have to be careful with that, and Gudjonsson bails us out again there. This is getting quite interesting now. They are getting a lot of the football, and that is a little bit of a worry for me. Hang on, Nygaard. Can he slip it through for someone? He can. Franson's in again. Oh, big save again. On the break, we are looking incredibly dangerous in this opening few minutes of the game. Brilliant stuff. I would be very impressed if we were able to get an away win with the fact that we've rested about 5 or 6 first-team players and brought in a load of sort of 16-year-olds for the game. Ball in. Once again, good save from the keeper. We're certainly very open at the moment, and slight problem. Oh, wow. We are letting them have a lot of opportunities now. Not getting a lot of the ball. We're going to have to try and do something here, because it's only a matter of time before they score, you've got to feel. At the moment, anyway. Let's just let this play out. Right, what changes do we make here? Now, someone told me that the best thing we could do against those sort of systems was, instead of exploiting the flanks, was actually to exploit the middle and let the wing-backs become the flank exploiters. But I kind of just want to try this out here, because we're going to get space, because they're playing a 4-4-2 diamond, so there's going to be spaces for us to exploit, because we've got those 3 strikers. If we can get 3-on-4, or even 3-on-2 against their 2 centre-backs, there's definitely going to be room for us. As long as they keep shooting from range, I am happy. I would like just to see us get a bit more of a foothold on the ball. Bigler, can he win the header? He actually has. Nygaard slips it through for Franson. He's in again, and once again, he's had his shot saved. Franson is this close to putting this game out of sight at the moment, but then they've had their chances too. I shouldn't really be giving them any ideas. They'll probably score now from a set piece. Benson. MP. Oh, god damn. Mikael Pedersen. So that's MP, is it, lads? That's a good goal. And frankly, they've deserved it. This has been... I mean, we've created some good opportunities, but they've been really battening down the hatches here a bit. Benson doesn't go for the long shot, instead comes inside, and it's a great strike from MP, and it's in the back of the net. That's unfortunate. We can always bring on the big guns later in the second half, just to sort of shore things up a bit. Franson, can he go for a ball in behind? He actually... That is a great pass for Nygaard. Can he pick someone out of the back post? Can he now? Bigler, and it's 2-1, and amazingly, we are back in front. Rasmus Bigler. He's not had much game time this year, I've got to say. Been mostly using him off the bench. He's had a few injuries as well. But when you need him, he's there. Nygaard does brilliantly here. Well, he gets a bit fortunate. Lovely pullback, though, and Bigler is there for 2-1, and we are back in front away from home. And at the moment, I think Shellerup are only drawing anyway. So even if we lost this, no, not if we lost. If we drew, we'd still be going into the next round as the leaders. Not that it makes much difference at this point, but it is good for confidence. A lot of the players are playing, the only players that are performing well are the sort of front line. I'd be tempted to make some changes and maybe get Adam O'Toole off for, hang on, yeah, Borup on the left. Because why not? Some of these guys, I mean, they're playing okay. They look delighted by the halftime team talk. What other change? Maybe Diamosa perhaps on for Devaney? He's not playing that well, and maybe we need someone with a little bit more experience just to see out this game. We've given them 45 minutes. We'll leave the rest of them on for now and keep a substitute in the pocket just in case things go a little bit sideways in this second half. And I kind of feel like they might well do. Campbell, nice ball into the path of Frank. Oh, I thought there was something coming there. MP. Cleared up the pitch for Nygaard, and we've got a 2-on-2 here at the back. Nygaard, can he slip it through? Bigler's in again. Rasmus Bigler makes it 3-1 here. Brilliant breakaway, and Rasmus Bigler scores his second goal of the night, and that is glorious. In fact, I've just realised that we could, in fact, lose at the moment and still go into the next round as winners. It just hadn't updated the scores when I last looked. This is lovely work from Mikael Nygaard. Is he got a hat-trick today of assists? Lovely ball into the path of Bigler. Nice touch, and the left... I think he's right-footed, actually, isn't he? But on his left foot there, great work. Just checked, and Mikael Nygaard does, in fact, have 3 assists on the night in the first 50 minutes of this game. And I think that isn't the first time this season that he's managed that, so he's clearly looking like a bit of an assist machine. Franson wins his header. Bigler slips it into the channel for Franson. He's in. Franson's in, and nearly a 4th. We're looking a lot better in this second period. It might be just because we've brought on a couple of more experienced players, but it might also just be that the tactic is starting to work a bit more. We've probably been the better side in this game now. Here's MP coming forward. We've now got a 2-goal cushion as well. I thought it was going to be a good tackle, but it is going to be probably a yellow card. Please don't get Borup sent off right now. Don't have any more left backs on the bench. In for MP. He could do another one of his brilliances. Oh, they've got another one back. I think that's offside, though. Yes? No? It's been ruled out. It's been ruled out for offside. Mads Røner has his goal ruled out. Franson has done okay today, but I might actually try and get Erfjord in. You might notice that he's now confident enough in that position to actually play there fluidly, so we might get him in. I don't think he's found a goal for us this season, but I'm determined to keep giving him game time because I think he's got the talent to get them at some point. We've looked very, very good on the break today. Nygaard has been an absolute hero for us. Borup, that is not a good clearance at all. And now he's going to have to try and get out to his man. Well played, Einstein. He's got a potential pass on down the wing. Casey could find it, though, when he doesn't quite get there. I've noticed that some of our passes up the field like that often seem to fall short of where they're actually aiming. I don't know if that's just because of the low level and the players can't kick it far enough, but it seems like it. And for all my talk about us managing expectations, we do seem to keep being able to grind out these wins away from home. Can Rasmus Bigler get himself a hat-trick? He's in, and it's a miss from him. Damn it. Nearly. We've picked up so many more away performances this season than we did last year. It's almost... Oh, wow, here we go. Don't bring him down, and it's another poor attempt. They could have had a few goals in this game if they'd just hit the target. Looking long again, and Bigler's making the run in behind again. Erfjord drops it back for Diamosa, and that is the final whistle. Aarhus Fremad 1, B67 3, and that is our 10th win in 14 games. We've only lost 2 of them. Good goal difference, actually the same as Shellerup. That is fantastic. So who else is coming up with us then into the next stage? Shellerup, we'll just look at the next screen. So the youngsters didn't exactly cover themselves in glory in that game, but they did in fact manage to hold our own at least until we got the big boys on to finish off the game. So here's how the promotion stage is going to look after Christmas. Arbetti and Shellerup both, no, they got 13, and we and Shellerup both got 12. That's quite impressive, actually. So they must have won their other games, except for the losses away at Tisted and Kolding. Avata, interestingly, got into this group with us, along with B93, and I think HIK were all in the relegation group last year with us, so we've definitely got history with them. It's going to be tough, but at least we've got a bit of a head start. We are level on points for the promotion spots at the moment. It's also worth noting, looking at last year's table, this is from the group stage, Frem came 4th in their group, 10 points off the top, and they were promoted. And Marianlist were 3rd in their group and were 9 points off of their group, and they won the promotion stage. So I don't think it's all about how you perform there. It's about how you perform against the big sides, and I really do think we're going to struggle after Christmas because they're just really, really good, and we are punching well above our weight. You might notice that 3 of the 4 sides that actually went into our one went down. So that doesn't bode well for the strength of that group. Christ. So, what we're going to do in the next episode is kind of what we did last time. Essentially, go back after Christmas, after, well, it's going to be March 23rd, so we'll have a youth intake to talk about too, which should be good. And we're going to do a double live com. So we're going to play the home game against Nyköping and the away game against... Run up time. Fridovre? Fridovre. That's a really tough one. If someone could spell that one for me phonetically, I'd be very interested to hear it. But anyway, if you have enjoyed this episode, maybe hit a like on the video. That'd be cool. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe for more videos like this in your inbox every single Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And I'll see you guys in the next episode for Youth Intake, lots of goodies, and 2 live comms, because I'm generous like that. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.